And I'm at for the second time today. So yeah, me and you saw each other very briefly today. Saw you were in a rush or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, it was nice to see you for the first time in actual, form since August last year. So yeah, that's pretty good. So today in the vlog, I got a movie review of The Martian. So yeah, that'll be coming up later. But first of all, I want to give a long overdue update on Legend of Daniel Cook 3 and 4. I can't remember last time I did an update on this, probably when I finished the first draft. So yeah. Now, I completed the second draft last Saturday, and I'm currently writing up it in actual script form, putting in actual script, rather than on a Word document. Adobe Story is the app I'm using, and that will take a little while to do. It took me 6 months to do the second draft, so this in actual script form. I know I was a bit preoccupied with other projects in media and Robot Wars, but yeah, this will take even longer probably. So this probably should be the last draft though, which is good. So hopefully by the latest the script should be finished around March time, so I'll be able to start shooting in March 2017. Oh my god, that's 3 years as I shot for the last version of Legend of Daniel Cook 3. But yeah, I finished the second draft now. By the way, the first draft was just working out basic story elements. Second draft was improving the dialogue and removing any plot holes. There were quite a lot of plot holes because I wrote it at first. Basically, Force Awakens came out after I'd started writing the script, so I sort of was inspired by a few plot elements from that film, and my opinion sort of changed on a few elements, and had to sort of iron out some plot holes where they didn't really combine well together from the beginning of the script to the end. So second draft, which I just completed, is doing that. Third draft's putting in actual script form, adding in actions, and adding in a bit more comedy, light-hearted moments, because there just aren't enough. Now, just to get us out of the way, Legend of Daniel Cook 1 and 2 were privatised about a year ago, but if you remember those being all light-hearted, Legend of Daniel Cook 3 and 4, they're not going to be that, despite still being Lego stop motion. So, I don't know why I'm telling you this when it's probably not going to come out until at least 2018 at this rate. But I know I've said this a million times before, but the last version I had of it is, this one is way better than that one. So yeah, if that one ever came out, looking back at it, if the one I did in like 2014/15 ever came out, it would be better than the first two, but this is going to be so much better. So yeah. I think I'm turning into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If you look at my nose right now, it's got this awful spot on it. I don't think it's on my nose, I think it's inside my nose, because it's just, it hurts inside, but outside doesn't look that bad, so yeah, that's not very good. And yeah, I can't think of a lot else to talk about, so I'm going to go straight on into the review of The Martian. So yeah. Right, so The Martian came out last year. It stars Matt Damon as an astronaut trapped behind on Mars after his crew leaves the planet, abandons their mission. They leave him behind with all their equipment, and he has to survive there for about 1.5–2 years before before he can be rescued. And the crew on NASA try all different means of bringing him back or like helping him out. And Matt Damon, the astronaut on Mars, just is basically trying to survive on a foreign planet. So the idea is quite good. Mars is a really good landscape in my opinion to make a movie out of. And it's not outside the realm of possibility in my opinion. I mean, the movie did seem pretty genuine in terms of science. For probably the most accurate science fiction movie I think I've seen, it, like, what he's doing seemed possible. And from Neil deGrasse Tyson on the CinemaSins video, he said that it could actually happen. Which is always good when a science fiction movie can convince you that it's actually real. It's just his mission to survive and how NASA plan to help him out in any way and eventually get him back home. Matt Damon as the astronaut, can't remember his name, I should stop referring to them by their actors' names, but anyway, he sort of plays what he does in every single role he's in my opinion. I've not seen a ton of Matt Damon films, but I know he's sort of that kind of character. But he's a good character. Like, if you're going to have one role, it's best to be that kind of tough, brooding guy who will not go down without a fight. And yeah, when something good happens to him, you're good for him. When something bad happens for him, you feel sorry for him. And he's like a really good lead. He can actually really hold a movie by its own. On the Mars scenes, you can tell he's struggling, and when he is bragging, it's really good. He's a really good lead. The one thing they didn't really delve into, though, is how lonely he would have been. I think it would have been better if they delved into how lonely he was, because he had no contact with an actual human for 1.5 to 2 years. Which, yeah, when I go out of contact for about like 5.5 hours doing trolleys, I get lonely. So 1.5 years, that's a long time. But yeah, the other characters, the ones on the Mars mission, they're not really memorable. They ended up being brought back into the movie a little later on. Alright, not that memorable, but the people on NASA, they are pretty memorable. There's the head of NASA who basically, he wants to do everything he can to bring the astronaut back home, but he's just not really prepared to do it unless if like there's a really good offer, an idea. There's the scientists who like overworked, you can tell their struggle. But my favourite character, probably in the movie, is Sean Bean's character, who's basically the one who really wants to bring him home. Not only because it'll help their media, but because he really does care. You can tell he cares. It's good to see Sean Bean not die in a role, and yeah, it really does sound sorry. He knows what's going on at all points, and they end up agreeing with him. So yeah, I mean, with a story like this, you'd expect it to be pretty predictable. I mean, every single survival movie, this is basically Castaway times 10. However, though, it has a bit more focus on how they're going to get him back rather than how he survives. It does have focus on how he survives, but there are a few elements in which you can just tell something's going to go well for him. There are a few moments where you can just tell something's going to go wrong for him, and it's just played up so much you do sort of know when they're going to happen. I'm not going to tell you which moments there are, but yeah, the movie is pretty predictable in that regard. Also during like the climax, when, well, I don't give away anything, when he's actually being rescued, you can tell exactly what's going to happen because of the music they're playing. And that moment and the tone of the scene, it's a bit too predictable for my taste, but it's a brilliant survival film. I mean, you just really want the main character to succeed. And if you like a main character in a survival film, like, you got a good movie. And, well, you end up liking him. You end up liking every single one of the characters. You want him to succeed, and when something new enters the game, it doesn't feel that abrupt. Yes, the intelligence of Matt Damon's character is a little bit high, considering the intelligence of the NASA crew, back at Earth, who have all the records. He's just got, you know, what's there, and they know everything that's ever been there, and they can't figure out these things until after Matt Damon's done it. That's a bit of a plot hole. And also the communication time from Earth to Mars, they do mention, is 14 minutes, but even still, or was it? No, it's 14 minutes Earth to Mars, or 20, I don't know how long it is, but there is a time for communication, and that's sort of ignored at points. It's the only scientific thing I don't really get. But other than that, I'd say it is a really very, very, very good movie. I've seen so many movies 2015 that I like. There's Force Awakens, Inside Out, Danny Collins, and yeah, now The Martian. And yeah, I like all those movies. And then there's 2016. where I've seen more movies this year, probably than any other year in the past, and I've only sort of liked Civil War, and all the rest I've sort of felt, not very good. Like, think about it, Revenant, not very good. Batman Superman, not very good. What else? Central Intelligence, not very good. The Nice Guys, terrible. Suicide Squad, terrible. 2015 was such a good year compared to this year, and The Martian is just proof of that. So yeah, thanks for watching the vlog, Matt. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you on Saturday.